So George Stephanopoulos sits down with JD Vance, and the first thing out of his mouth is a gotcha question. He brings up a post Trump made back in March, something about, and I quote, no deal except unconditional surrender. And then he asks Vance, and I quote, why did he reverse course? Now think about what that question is really doing. And before we get to George Stephanopoulos and JD Vance, I want to show you guys a second clip in regards to the matter, and then we'll get to George Stephanopoulos and JD Vance. Check this out.
And Nick, you pointed out some of this earlier. We have a long way to go between now and Friday. Can you just lay out some of the factors that might complicate actually bringing this announcement to fruition of an actual deal or process moving forward?
Yeah, we still haven't heard from the Iranians saying that they've reached this agreement as well. What we have heard is from the president speaking about the need for national unity, speaking about the need for critics to stop criticizing the negotiators, that the country needs to sort of act from a position of sort of long-term strategic interest, that from its economic capability, from its sort of strategic capabilities. So you've had this sort of narrative from the president in Iran trying to sort of, who's viewed as a more moderate, who's sort of trying to sort of pave the way for whatever deal may come. But you've also heard these very hard-line statements that have been coming not just from the sort of military national security side in Iran, but talking about their desire to continue to extract some sort of financial recompense for the Strait of Hormuz, in their belief that they've won control of it through the war, and that this is something that they wouldn't want to give up. So I think there's going to be so much that is necessarily going to be packed into these 60 days of discussions once a memorandum of understanding is signed. But look, let's take a cold, hard reality check here. It has taken 60 days plus since the ceasefire came into existence at the beginning of April to get to this point. To get to a point where two out of the mediators and one of the sides can say that there is an agreement. The other side seems to be slipping in that direction. On the simplest of things, to say we can open the Strait of Hormuz. Let's see how that works. But the really hard stuff, the technical detail of, how much of that 400 kilograms of highly enriched uranium is Iran willing to see shipped off of its soil? How much is it going to demand to dilute itself? How much in what it